Good morning, everybody. It's me, Heather Nichols, for Tailored Expressions Live, and welcome to all of you. As you pop in, tell me that if you can see me. It's me, Heather Nichols, for Tailored Expressions Live. So yes, please tell me if it's working. I had a little bit of technical issues, and hopefully I am back. Okay, Jamie Richards, thank you so much, saying that I am back. So just pop in, tell me hello. It says I'm having a trouble with Facebook comments. We'll just keep going here. So hopefully you guys can see me. Oh, there we go. I'm getting confirmation that things are working. So that is great. So it's good to see you guys here. Again, it's me, Heather Nichols. You guys know who I am, right? So welcome to It's Throwback Thursday today for our Tailored Expressions Live. So again, why don't you guys tell me where you are watching from? I'm just going to keep going because from my end it looks like it is working. I can see your comments and everything. So I hope you all are doing well. Woo, let's take a deep breath. After that technology, you guys, it's so much fun. And all I kept getting is error. And I just kept trying to redo, and I ended up having to go out and come back in and relog in and everything. So yeah, it's been a week here up in Minnesota. We had a great big snowstorm. We haven't had snow hardly all winter, and we got a whole bunch of snow. Last Friday we got 6 inches, which is the most we had gotten in one chunk at one time this season. And then from Sunday to Tuesday we got over a foot here, and it was icy and slushy and yucky. It's not the pretty snow, it's the snow that you're like, ugh! So there was a lot of cancellations, and Tacey's day program got canceled. My daughter Hannah's classes at St. Cloud State got canceled. It was just a whole bunch of yucky winter weather. So, but what do you do, right? So it's supposed to warm up and melt, and yes. So let's talk about what's going on in Tailored Expressions land. Like I always say, let's see, this week was the Scattered Blooms kit. I designed this kit, and I think that you guys liked it a little bit. So there I think, are a few kits left. I haven't heard that it has sold out. There's not many left. The number I heard yesterday, there's not many left. So if that was a kit that you were interested in, I would run in and get your hands on it, because it will be gone. And then we do bring some products back from kits. Obviously, today's release is some of that, where we're bringing some items back from one of our kits, but we don't bring everything back. So if it's something that you're interested in, I would get it now, because I can't guarantee when it's going to come back, and I can't guarantee what's going to come back. Plus, you're going to need all those flowers for all these spring projects. With all the snow outside, the flowers brought a little bit of sunshine and spring into our week, for sure. So, good. Sounds like you guys like the kit. Sounds like you guys have had good weather. It is sunny today. It's chilly still. It's only going to be in the 30s here, but I will take it after our last several days of kind of really yucky winter weather. So the other thing that's going on with the Scattered Blooms kit is on the blog. If you haven't caught up with the videos, we had 3 videos this week. So I had a video on Tuesday showing some different ideas of how you can create with the kit. And then Alicia had a video yesterday, and it has one of the cool floating techniques in there, which some of you who are at Virtual Stamp Joy might be familiar with that awesome floating technique. So check that out. And then today, Thierry has a video as well with a couple of cards that she created with the kit. So make sure you check those out, get all of the inspiration. And I always say, if you can't get the kit, this inspiration might be something that you can use with other products you have in your stash, other flower things that you have in your stash, other ideas, just to get your ideas flowing for the next time you sit down to get crafty. So yes, yeah, people are saying if you're having issues or whatever, try refreshing, go out, come back in. From my end, it's looking like it's working for me. So, okay, so let's see what else is going on. It's the last week of March. Can you even believe that it's the last week of March and we're going into our Easter weekend? But the last day of the month is Sunday, Easter Sunday, and so if you wanted to participate in the TE Maker Challenge, which is using some sort of calendar product on your project that you share, and you can enter, I believe, 3 times, and there are $25 store credits in the mix for that. So this is the last week to do the calendar part of the challenge, and then on Monday, April 1st, there'll be a new TE Maker Challenge for the month of April that you can then, so if you've done your submissions for now, you can check out what the new challenge is going to be and get crafty next month. We love to check out your projects for sure. And then that also means that our gift with purchase is going to change. And actually our gift with purchase changed this week to framed flowers. And it will change then on April 1st. So if you missed out getting framed flowers during the week that we introduced our combo clump, you have another chance to get that set this week before we switch over to our new gift for April that starts on Monday. So those are the couple things that are going on this week. I can't believe it's almost April. This year just feels like it's going really fast. So, all right. So the next week, should we talk about next week? We have a lot to talk about today with the Throwback Thursday release, and I'll get to that in just a second. But next week, I know you guys like when I share a little bit about what's coming, right? And if you love foiling and you love adding all the shiny to your projects, you're just going to love next week. So it's all about foiling next week. You guessed it, we have lots of new foilet panels coming, foilet panels that coordinate with products that we already have. So let me show you that first, because I have a peek of something that coordinates with a product we already have. So take a look at this. And you guys, I'm still getting used to all my new little camera angles to get this all centered. And I should probably turn this card this way. So this is a product that many of you are probably familiar with. And now you can add a pretty metallic accent to that. So there is part of the tea. So this is a foilet that coordinates with products we already have, and there's lots of other things that are coming that coordinate with different products that we have. And then of course we have new foilet panels coming that are just new. They're kind of on their own and they are beautiful. So this one, I have a video coming up on Tuesday featuring these projects. So check this out and check out that beautiful foil. And I'm gonna tell you, that's not deco foil. Check out that beautiful foil. If you want to learn more and learn how I created that project, you're going to want to stop by the blog on Tuesday, and Taylor will be live Tuesday at 10 a.m., but all the new products go live at 9, and you can check out all of the new things. So again, that was not deco foil. That's all I'm going to say about that. So yes, some of you are already guessing what is coming. So what Kim says? That's right. So that is what's coming next week. So I hope you guys are excited about that. So today is the Throwback Thursday release. So we started doing kind of these mini releases on Thursdays in the last couple of months and releasing kind of things that were part of kits in our past. So you've already probably seen the sneak peeks that Charlie has posted. This kit this week is the mixtape kit that released, I think Taylor said it was December of 2022 when this one released. So I'm going to pop you down to my desk so you can see a whole bunch of inspiration. Check that out. So some of these things might be familiar to you, and I've got a couple of new projects here too. These are cards this is a card that I created for that release. So the mixtape kit, was it the Best Mix Ever kit? I'm trying to remember what the actual kit name was. You create this adorable cassette tape, which is part of the mixtape die collection. So there is a die set. So this is something that's available now in the TE web store right now, is you get all the pieces to create the little cassette tape, which this just brings me back. I am a child of the 80s. In fact, these colors are so remind me. I had a windbreaker with those exact colors that my mom made me. Like the pocket was one color and the sleeves were a different color. So it was so much fun to create these. And I actually created mini cassette tape shaker tags. So I created the little cassette into a shaker. So there's all sorts of fun little bits inside of that. And let's take a look at a couple of these. This is one that Jill Hawkins did. And I love this. I love this color combination here. I love the blue tape. That was something that was super fun. I remember doing is you would go to the aisle like at Target or wherever, and they had all the blank tapes to create your own tapes. And I just loved all the pretty designs on those cassette tapes. So here is another one with, you know, the fluorescent pink and turquoise colors. This one doesn't have the tape on it. This one is just a fun shaker with all the little bits that are included. There's a little die in that die collection that makes all these cute little shaker bits or little accents for your projects. I want to say this is Lori Craig that did this one. So yeah, so there's four kind of throwback cards, and then I created a few new cards with the collection. So this is one of them, and there is a new product on there as well. Let's look at some of these other products too. So I already showed you the mixtape die collection. There's also the mini strips mixtape stamp set. So that's this little, like, you can see all these little strips on here, which I love it because it looks like how we used to like put a piece of tape with the name of the mixtape on there. And so that is that one. The other thing that is new is the Best Mix Ever sentiment set and the coordinating dies to cut out the largest sentiments in that set. And you can definitely see that on a lot of the different projects here. Another product that is bringing back is we have the Deco Foil adhesive transfers. So this means that this is kind of a sticker thing, and you don't necessarily need a heat tool to do foiling on your projects. And I'm going to show you how to do that today, because we're going to actually create this card right here. And see how I have a foiled You're Awesome on that sour gummy cardstock, and that is so easy to do with the adhesive transfers. So those are available in the store. The two new products that we're releasing today, which you got a peek of here, is got this little kind of fun music staff here, and that is a part of the Perfect Harmony set that is releasing today. And so it's got the fun music staff and sentiments to go along with it. And then you might have noticed on this card the foiling that's happening in the background, and that is part of the Foil It High Notes panels that are releasing today. The background that you're seeing, Amy, that you're bringing up here, this, I think it was the Mixmaster background that was a part of kit, that is not releasing today. So we have a new kind of background panel to go with that. So here is the High Notes. I'm trying to see if I can find all the designs in here. There's one, there's two with that. There's this one, which we're going to use this one today, and then there's where the music is kind of at the bottom as well. So that's what's in the High Notes Foil It packs as well. So we'll use these today as well. All right. Oh, and one more thing. If you needed envelope seals, these actually are so cute, the little cassette tape envelope seals, those are also available in the web store as well. And not only you could use these on your envelopes, obviously, but you could use these on your cards as well. So there we go. So let's move things out of the way and get crafting with the mixtape products. And these are available. Oh, I forgot the other thing. So if you order anything from the Throwback Thursday category, now through next Thursday morning, you'll get the inspiration cards absolutely free with your order. So you'll get 4 cards that have 4 different color combinations and card ideas on them to get you jump started on your projects. So I know a lot of you have been collecting these. So these, again, will be available if you purchase anything from the Throwback Thursday category until next Thursday morning. I believe it cuts off at 9 a.m. in the morning next Thursday. So, but all of the items I just showed you now totally become a part of the TE catalog. So all of these mixtape products are going to be available whenever you feel like you need them. So again, these are the 2 cards that I created, and I have a little bit of a color card here for you guys. I used a little bit of a different color combination than I maybe would have used. So I have a true color card if you guys are keeping track of colors. The only one I don't have a stamp on, this is black licorice, I guess. Oreo could also be used as well, but I didn't have a stamp for black licorice, so I'll have to check out and see if that's in one of the other sets that I don't have. So there you go. Okay, so it all starts with that mixtape die collection, which is a whole lot of die cutting. So I went ahead and cut out everything ahead of time. This is one of those embossing pads, you guys, that is new, the 6x6, and with all these little pieces, and they slide all over the place. but putting them on this little silicone mat kind of keeps them from going crazy across the table. So let's just take a look at the different parts here. I've got the actual cassette kind of frame piece that I cut out of the different colors of cardstock. Whenever I am crafting like this, I will just cut and cut and cut until I have a bunch of things to choose from. So when I sit and put these together, I just can pick my little pieces and put them together, and then my projects kind of evolve from that. I was actually sending a picture to Taylor yesterday of something that is coming soon, and I had all of my little pieces across my desk, and she goes, "You need to share that picture because creating that way is weird." And I'm like, "It's weird." And she goes, "Well, typically people don't craft that way where you make a ton of stuff and then put it together from there." So I'm not sure if some of you are like me and do something like that, where you craft, like I'll make a whole bunch of these little cassette decks and then I'll put my projects together, or if you kind of make one thing at a time when you're creating for your cards. So yes, you guys are still talking about that background, and I know which background you are talking about. It is this music one right back here. This was a part of the kit. It is not part of today's release. So that was something in the kit that is not being released. So unfortunately, that is not one you can get unless you check maybe some of those buy, sell, trade forums. It's the Mix Master background, and we're not selling that in the store. We didn't release that today. Okay, so I've got my little cassette frames here, and I cut them out of a assortment of colors. I've got honey and pumpkin and sour gummy and dragon fruit. It's kind of a grunge rainbow, I guess you would call it. So anyway, and then there is the little kind of front piece of the cassette. This kind of goes down by where the tape runs down here. So I have those cut out as well. These are going to be for the little kind of, I don't know if you call them like dials on the tape cassette. And then there are little circles and stripes that you can decorate your tape with. So let's put one of these together so you can see how this goes together. I used the dragon fruit on my sample card, but let's do a different color combination for this one. Let's do the honey. I think that's what I would like to do. Some of you are saying that you cut out a bunch of stuff, so I'm not alone with that, right? I think we all craft differently. I think, do whatever works best for you. Okay, so I could do either the circle designs on here or the stripes, and I'm going to go for the circles. And the circles are really nice because there are kind of impressed circles on this little mixtape backer piece that make it easy to line these little circles up. So I'm going to grab and kind of choose the colors, and you could do your colors like Jill did here. She made them all the same color, and just kind of adds a cool texture. But let's do kind of a rainbow look like I've got on here. So I'm just going to pick and choose my colors. And again, when you sit and cut out, and part of me thinks when I'm cutting things out, I'm just going to cut out everything because then I'm not forgetting to cut out certain pieces and I can just create. I might switch my largest, we'll do the dragon fruit, then the honey, and then the inside circle I can do, should I do the blue? I'm going to do the pumpkin. I'm not feeling this color combination real well, so I can go back and grab my other pieces maybe and swap out. Let's do the pumpkin one, and then I'm going to change that middle circle to the sour gummy. Like that. There, I'm liking that a lot better. Feeling good about that. So you can definitely use a liquid adhesive to pop these shapes down. I am lazy, and so I am going to flip these circles over to the back and kind of tape them all at once, and that'll kind of actually hold them together and adhere them down on this piece. So when you do these die cut sets, they can definitely be fiddly. So if you're not a fiddly person, remember that. But I think there's shortcuts that you can do as well. So now I'm just lining these circles up with the circles on that backer piece. These do go together really easily, and I think there's a lot of things to help you get everything lined up perfectly. All right, lining up with the circle there. So it looks like crazy eyes on there. And let's see, so we are going to put the frame on. So I'm going to pop that little circle out of the bottom. If you were going to do a shaker, you just back this and then pop this up with foam tape. That's super easy to create a shaker with this. Then we're just going to set that on there. Then we need the little piece that goes right here. I don't know if it has like a specific name or anything like that. Probably somebody knows, right? If this has a name. Let's do the honey one. Or should I do the pink one? Oh, I kind of like the pink one. Let's do the pink one. Dragon fruit. It is dragon fruit. For those of you having streaming issues, at my end, it's functioning, looks like it's functioning as it should be. And so I'm not really sure what to tell you besides refresh. It should record in full, and you can go back and rewatch the replay if it's not working for you. Okay, so there it's got that little piece on the bottom. Now I need my little tape pieces, and they just fit together like this. So that's like the gray tape that goes in your tape cassette. So I'm just going to add a little adhesive there. I just love how this comes together so perfectly. And if you do a bunch of die cutting, you can just sit and put your little pieces together and have a whole bunch. In fact, I have a couple of extra cassette tapes that I put together when I was making my first batch of first cards. I can't talk, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I think that turned out pretty cute. All right. So we've got the tape put together, and so let's do some foiling because we're going to create the background for our card, and we're going to use one of the new panels from the Foil It High Note set. So I'm just going to move these pieces out of the way. Like I need little silicone trays to hold all of my little die cut pieces now because that worked out pretty darn good. Okay, so I've got the panel, and this is the one that's got the music kind of going up above so we can put our tape, like the music is coming out of the tape. There are cards. Jill Hawkins made a card with the little boom box from the, I want to say, a Totally Rad quad set, and it has the music coming out of the top of the boom box, which is super cute too. I've got my mini mink here. I've got it heated up to a 3. That is what works for my machine. And we are going to use the gold shimmer fun foil. So let's cut a piece of that to cover the panel. I'm just grabbing a pair of scissors here, and we're just going to cut that to match the panel. I'm going to stick this back in the tube. And I don't know how many of you do this, but I usually stick the cap on the roll like this and then put the tube on so I don't smush, and I moved my roll anyway. Don't smush that top of that roll. Okay, so I've got my Foil Magic Shim in my carrier sheet. So let's pop that in there. So you're going to set that panel down with the print side up, the toner printed side up. Add your foil on top, pretty side up. Many of you have foiled, have done this many, many times, I'm sure, and I'm going to just send that right through my mini mink. All right. I can fast forward it in my videos, but in real time, we got to just wait. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. I'm going to let it cool just a few seconds before I peel off that foil. I'm going to set my mini mink aside because we're going to foil again, but we're not going to use the mink. You can, but we're not going to. Okay, we're ready to reveal the design. I'm going to peel that off. And now all of my music notes are foiled and sparkly. I love it. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So I added color on top of my foiling, and we always recommend that you do your foiling before you do your blending. I know some people do it another way, but do it the other way. But to kind of ensure that your foiling is going to foil, because we're not totally sure if the ink changes anything in the toner. So we recommend foiling first. Now I've got my Scotch removable labeling tape because I'm going to mask off this part because we're going to add some color and kind of a rainbow blend right there. So I'm just going to do it, and I want a little bit of the notes kind of sticking out from the edges here. So I'm just going to put the tape slightly in on those music notes. And again on this side, because I want them kind of showing outside of the rainbow stream. And then I've got my little blender brushes here. And let's start with dragon fruit on this side over here. I'm just going to try to keep it nice and narrow so I can get all my colors in. And they're just going to go down to that bottom. So I'm going to start with this one. And again, I keep thinking like grunge rainbow, although the dragon fruit is a pretty bright color for grunge, but when you add in the honey and the pumpkin and the sour gummy, it kind of gives it more of that look and feel. All right, let's do a little pumpkin next to that. Going down. Make sure you're kind of overlapping your colors in between. I'm using my bitty blender brushes. I think the big ones would be a little bit too large for this particular blend. And next is the honey. And we'll do that here. I have plenty of room for my sour gummy on that next side. Now, when you're blending with their colors, if you're not familiar with our ink colors continue to kind of spread and move after you've blended them. So if it looks a little bit blotchy or splotchy, give it a minute. It will even itself out, I promise. That's one thing I actually really like about our inks is how they blend together on projects like this. I am going to get a green that shows up between the sour gummy and the honey. So it kind of creates its own little rainbow here. I'm going to go back to the honey. And add more of that color in and do that overlap between the colors. Get the pumpkin again. I think pumpkin is a color that I don't reach for very often, and I've been kind of reaching for it more lately, wanting more of that orangey red color. And then let's do one last little pass with the dragon fruit on this edge over here. Okay, that's looking pretty darn good. Put my blender brushes away. Let's peel off that tape so you can see what that looks like. I like it. Very, very pretty. Now, of course, I have to splatter. Even though I have foil, I love to splatter still. So let's grab that. It's totally optional, but you know I gotta do it. I've got chocolate truffle liquid watercolor, and I'm just gonna pick that up with my water brush. Tap the brush over my finger to add a few splatters. Clean my brush off. This is a water brush, so I'm just going to flush the water, and you rub it on a paper towel, or you could do a scrap piece of paper to get that color out. And then this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White for a few white splatters. There we go. And those really are just going to show up on the rainbow part. Perfect. Good morning, Whitney. All right, I'm just cleaning out my brush, get that white ink out of there, and then we'll take a look at this, and we're going to trim this panel down just a little bit too. So there you can see in between all of that shimmer and shine, I've got my splatters, because of course I do, right? So I'm going to grab my die cut machine because we're going to trim this down with one of the A2 layer Stacklets panels, or panels, dies. Going to set that on there, and I'm using the third from the largest die. Going to set that on here just to trim this panel down a little bit. I'm going to tape that in place to make sure it doesn't wiggle while I go through the die cut machine. Right through. Okay. So now let's do our foiling with the adhesive transfer, so you can see how you can do that without a mink. I'm going to grab my little Sidekick. You can use a big die cut machine for that, but let's just use the Sidekick for now. So I've got some of the You're Awesome sentiments that I cut out with that die collection. So again, the sentiments are from this set, and there are the coordinating dies, but those also coordinate with the adhesive transfers, which we're going to use now. And you get 2 sheets of adhesive transfers in here. I've already cut up one of them. We'll grab, so here's a look at what that looks like. So you're going to choose your sentiment, and there's some fun stars in here too. And I actually did use the stars on this card. So those stars that are in the background there are actually foiled onto the background with those stars from that deco foil adhesive transfer. So you're just going to cut out one of whatever you're going to foil. You're going to just cut that out, which again, I'm choosing the You're Awesome. And then there's a back on here, and you're going to peel that back off. And then we're going to line that up on our die cut here. And it is kind of an adhesive, and so you'll just kind of tack it into place. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to send that through our die cut machine to add some pressure on there to do the transfer of the adhesive. And I feel like I don't have a lot of pressure going on here, but let's see if it's enough. Oh yeah, I need a little bit more. So I'm just going to add like a cardstock shim. Just going to add a cardstock shim to add just a little bit more. I'm not going to cut that because that is my card base. Just to add a little bit more pressure on there. I feel like I didn't have enough pressure on there and it wasn't doing the transfer real well. There we go. So I just added cardstock shims. Whenever things are not, you're feeling like you're not having enough pressure, cardstock shims are the way to go. Okay, so let's peel that back, and you can, I'll show you here. It's really hard to see, but there we go. The adhesive transferred onto the die cut. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our foil just like we would be foiling regularly. Let's see, I have a scrap here. I don't know if that's wide enough, not quite. So we'll just cut a new piece here. Set this aside. I'm just going to cut that foil. To cover that die cut piece. I'm going to go ahead and use my shims again to add that pressure and run it through my sidekick to add the foil. Peel that off, and now I have a foiled sentiment on a different color paper than just the white. I think that is awesome, just like you're awesome. Okay. I've got more of the die cuts, so let's go ahead and adhere these together in a stack to give it just a little more dimension. I'm using my tape runner. You could use a liquid adhesive if you would like. So there is one layer. That's right, Pam, you don't have to use heat with the adhesive transfers. With our toner panels, yes, you are going to need heat to do the transfer. But for the adhesive transfers, and we have a few different designs in these in the TE web store, but these you do not need heat. You can use your meat with them, but you don't have to. I think there's like, we have a hello set and the thanks set that are the adhesive transfers. They still exist in the web store, I'm not sure. And there was a Christmas set with reindeer, I think. Okay, so my little cassette tape that we did earlier is going to go down here, and then we're going to add that there. And I've got a sour gummy card base. So let's go ahead and we're going to adhere that to the card base. Oh, and I just ran out of tape runner, but I think I've got enough on there. I'm not going to dig a refill out right now. I'll just grab a, well, we can pop this up with a little bit of foam tape. I'm going to grab the 1x3 for the back of the tape. I think if I just used one and just trimmed a little bit here, that would be perfect. Add the tape right at the bottom there. And then I will use liquid adhesive on the back of this. So I like multimedia matte. All right, we're gonna just attach that right above that cassette tape. And of course, there's so many different other sentiments you could use on there. There's of course like best mix ever, you rock, happy birthday, however you want to celebrate who you're giving this card to. And that is that. So I've got 2 of these cards now with the fun rainbow blend, and we foiled both with the mink with the new high note foil at high note panels, and without heat using the new, they're not new, the Deco Foil adhesive transfers. So, but those are awesome. All right, looking at comments, I am not really sure how well this streamed because they're coming in sort of crazy. So if you're adding comments, I'm not sure that I'm seeing them that well. So, and they seem to be repeating. So hopefully this all goes through well. Let me flip you up to the top and we will kind of end this for today. There we are. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope this works and you actually can see the recording. If you all, it froze or whatever, hopefully you can go back and watch the replay from my end. I was not seeing comments really that great. So I hope you guys got to enjoy crafting with me today, and we had a lot of fun making this shimmery and sparkly card with the mixtape kits and other products from the Throwback Thursday mixtape release. So those items are available in the store now, and so make sure to check them out. If you wanted one of the Scattered Blooms kits, be quick because they are almost gone. And make sure to join Taylor next week for the foil release, and she will have more to share, and there will be sneak peeks all over the weekend. There'll be a sneak peek on the blog as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Have a great Easter weekend, and